Hey guys, I'm Pete the Duck, and welcome to Forge with Pete. Today we're going to be taking a look at Onslaught. This is a variation of Halo 4's Flood game type, so let's find out how to play. If you're a survivor, you're going to spawn here next to this large base. This is your base, your home, you're here to defend it. Your goal is to survive as long as possible, and you're given a bottomless clip railgun to help make that happen. But if you're a Flood, you're going to spawn here on this platform with access to the Mantis mech. As soon as you enter one, you're going to be teleported to the survivor base, and you can wreak havoc. And that's it. It plays out like a traditional Flood game, with any survivors joining the Flood until there's no humans left standing. This map was simple to build in Forge, but there's a few tricks that I used that I can share with you, so let's take a look at it in Forge mode. Okay, this is the Flood spawn platform, so I have these respawn points assigned to the attacking team. This is where the Flood are going to spawn. And I put this spawn platform out here so that the humans couldn't spawn camp the Flood. I wanted to give them a safe place where they could enter their vehicles and get ready to attack. Now you'll notice I have 8 Mantises, but I also have 8 Scorpions. And the reason I have those there is in the game settings, you can set the vehicle set to actually Mantises, and it will convert any Scorpion tanks to Mantises, giving me not just 8, but actually 16 Mantises at the beginning of the game. I also have a Dominion Mantis vehicle pad here, and I've assigned this to the attacking team also. There's actually 14 of these stacked over one another, and the reason I did that is just to provide even more Mantises. I just want to make sure that no matter how many Mantises are destroyed in battle, when a player spawns here on this platform, there's going to be a fresh one ready for them, and they could just jump in and get back into the action without having to wait for a new one to spawn. Now, in order to get players from here to the battlefield, what I did is I used a teleporter, and I put it way down here, well below the map. It is a sending node, and it's set to only teleport vehicles, not players. Now, you might be wondering, why did I set it way down here below the spawning platform? And the reason I did that is that the height at which you enter a teleporter is the same height at which you will exit it. Let's just pretend that maybe this platform is 100 units above that sending teleporter. So when I exit it, I'm also going to be 100 units above the receiving teleporter, which is going to give me that nice little drop in from the sky, and that accomplishes a couple different things. The first is that it makes it really hard for the humans to spawn camp the Flood, because they're going to be falling in from the sky. You're not going to get a good shot at them. The other reason is that it's going to give the Flood a chance to enter the Mantis and be ready to attack as soon as they hit the ground. So you can see I have the receiving teleporter right here underneath this silo. That's the receiving teleporter. You're going to spawn way up in the sky there and drop down onto the ground. Now I have several of these spawning platforms all over the map, just so it's a little bit random and it's really hard to predict exactly where the Mantises are going to be coming from. All of this is just designed to prevent the humans from spawn camping the Mantises. I really want the humans to fall back to this base and have to defend it. So this is the human base, and we have our spawn points. These are the defending team. That's where the humans are going to be spawning, the survivors. And there's really nothing special about the base. It's just, Forge pieces assembled together. I tried to make it look nice and play nice. It's really open to give the Mantises a nice shot inside, so the humans have to be on their toes. They can't just turtle up. They really have to try and stay inside for cover, but at the same time take out the Mantises quickly, otherwise they're going to get pelted with missiles and machine gun fire and things like that. So, what I do want to show you is I've surrounded this map with some kill boundaries, and that's another thing to keep players inside their base, keep them from running into the mountains and causing problems by hiding in a little nook or cranny. So you can see I've blocked off the backside of this map with a soft kill boundary, and I have another one over here blocking off this side, just to keep players where I want them to be. I want them to be in the map, not wandering around the outskirts. The last thing I want to show you is I have a trait zone. And this is just another feature I used to keep players in the map, keep them from wandering around. Here's how it works. The base player traits are actually a penalty. They only have 50% movement speed and 50% damage. They also have a visible waypoint. But the trait zone is set up with what I want the players to actually have, which is 100% movement speed, 150% damage, and no waypoint at all. So if a human wanders outside of the boundary of this trait zone, they're going to be hit with that penalty, meaning the boost, the special traits that are actually better, are going to go away, and they're going to be left with a waypoint. They're not going to do as much damage, they're going to move slower, they're going to be basically a sitting duck. So that's another feature I used to just keep players where I want them to be, keep them from wandering around and causing problems. So you can see, most of this map was just designed about making the game play out the way I want it to. I could have just made the mantises spawn on the rock with the human players, but there'd be a lot of problems associated with that. So it's just things like that that you should keep in mind when you're designing this kind of map. And that's it. To download this map, go down to Settings and Files, select File Browser. To get the map variant, select Map Variant, do a File Share Search, and enter my gamertag, Pete the Duck. And of course, you're also going to need the game type, so you should back out and select Game Types, and do the same thing. Do another File Share Search for the gamertag, Pete the Duck. Both files are going to be called Onslaught, and you'll need them both if you want to play this game. Thanks for watching!